request Pius Marwein to take the floor, please. Pius Marwein. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, for allowing me to take part in this general discussion on the budget of 2023-24. I would like to thank the Honorable Chief Minister for presenting the people's budget, which cater to the needs of different sections of the people. Sir, I would like to raise some points relating to Ranikor constituency. Regarding road sector, I am very thankful to the government for sanction 18 crores for construction of road to Busra. However, export is a lifeline of the people in the area and the state. I request the government to sanction the roads to Bagli export point to enhance the economic condition of the people, and also request the government to open more export points and border hut. It will bring the benefit of the state and the people. I also request the government to sanction the missing link road of Wakaji to Ranikor. This will immensely help the people. Regarding health sector, sir, I request the government to improve the health facility in Ranikor CHC and another center, and I also strongly request the government to upgrade the Mauput sub-center to primary health center, as this sub-center to more than 14,000 people, and this issue I have raised so many times, sir, but I hope this time the Mauput sub-center will upgrade to primary health center. Education sector, as time and again, I request the government to set up one 10+2 school in Ranikor subdivision. Beside upgrades and other schools, be infrastructure or facilities. I also request the government to expedite the appointments as the assistant teacher in LP school who know the language of the student there, because in my constituency, Ranikor constituency, we have mixed community. We have Khasi, Garo, Hajong, Bengali. I request the government to send the assistant teacher who knows the language in the government LP school. It will helpful for the student. Regarding tourism sector, in relation to the tourism, I would like to request the government to upgrade the quality of our tourist spot, such as Nongna Viewpoint, Lom Yau Pau, Hot Sumchri, Ranikor tourist spots, and so on. This area would receive tourists from different parts of the country and the world. Sports sector. Sport is one of the ways where the youth can receive the benefit, their talents and skill. I request the government to give one playground artificial turf which highly benefit and motivate the youth. Power supply. Even though the government has tried its best to give the power connectively to all, there are still villages in my constituency, around 11-12 villages like Meskola, Sohleng, Waikut, Omtengkut, Amarsang, Tateja, Pormodar, Nongmalang, Poitbeli, Umbar, Langkama, has not received electricity, which is important to carry on their daily life. Therefore, I would request the government to follow up on this agenda. I would like to make a reminder once again about the request made to receive one more CNT block in southwest Khas Hill in the border of Ranikor constituency and Maukurwat constituency. Regarding water resources, I would like to request the government once again for water resources to have one more time to control the Umngi rivers from reaching Balat, Moilam, Jamatwar, Maushalia, and so many villages. Even though last 2 years ago, the Brahmaputra board sanctioned 12 crores, it is not enough because there are many villages that the rivers have been affecting slowly and putting the people at risk.
Honorable Member,
Yes, sir.
would you like
Just
to
one point.
wind up?
I also request the government to look into the villages which JJM already sanctioned and some have completed, but water could not reach all the villages. So I request the government to acknowledgement with state fund. Administrative sector, I also request the government to sanction the SDO civil office for the Ranikor civil subdivision and also to set up the different office in the civil subdivision so that it can serve the people better. With this few words, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, I resume my seat. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. May I request Balajied Synrem to take the floor?
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. Just a few words, sir, with regards to the budget speech, detailed budget speech given by our Honorable Chief Minister. There's just a few points which I feel in my capacity I would like to address the House. So first and foremost, power is one of the basic necessities in this current age. And through the address, our Honorable Chief Minister has mentioned that around 400 crores will be budgeted for this particular financial year. So given the aspect that in our area, especially in our state, especially in the monsoon season, where there's a trend or technical issue, once it starts raining, usually the lights goes off, especially in the rural area. I'm having under consideration if maybe, when you look into my constituency, there are many perennial streams which I think if the government can take into consideration of setting up a micro dam which can generate electricity, maybe it can help cater the areas, especially Sora, Shela, and certain areas of Punusla. Because these perennial rivers has the potential, and I think a survey should be done in order to cater to these requirements. And I'm very appreciative of the particular scheme as laid down by the Honorable Chief Minister, the Chief Minister's Rural Connectivity Scheme. So given the terrain and demography and geography of our Shela constituency, Previously, we had this border area development program, and initially it targeted around 20 kilometers, but in 2019 it was cut short to around 10 kilometers. And there are certain areas, especially this Mophu area, Umblai, Nongsteng area, which used to be covered by this border area scheme. And I think this particular scheme is given by the Honorable Chief Minister will help cater to the needs required by those particular villages. And I should also thank the government because in the last MDA 1, our constituency has received many schemes, especially through PLUD, and has greatly helped our people, especially those areas where road connectivity has been a burden for so long. And I feel that in this particular financial year, most schemes should be pumped in the rural areas, as I had addressed in the governor's speech, that the terrain in my constituency is quite different. The requirements of road construction is particularly high as compared to other areas. And I think the government will consider, given that the budget this year is pretty huge. So, and with regards to sports, then 1,000 crore has been budgeted for this particular year for 2023-24. And I appreciate the government for the cash award schemes and projects which they're considering. But at the same time, when you take into reflection and convergence with the educational sector, sportsmen or athletes from school levels should be given an opportunity if we have our own university, wherein scholarships should be given to those particular students who excels in their particular field. Because I remember when I was young, when we tried in other universities, your other colleges used to offer via sports quota. And I think this can be a means to promote our youth, especially those who are interested in sports, in order to help them in their field. So, and tourism perspective, I have discussed this with our ministers before and officers. The PMEGP program, the target this year is 1,000 homestays. In the last session, in the last financial year, around 235 homestays have been granted. I think the government should consider making this particular scheme easy and accessible to the applicants, because it takes a long time. The departmental procedures, I think you're well aware of. I feel the government should make it easy in order for applicants to avail this particular scheme. And one more thing, sir, with educational sector, there's one concern which I'm having with regards to the MTET. When you look into Sora civil subdivision, majority of the aspiring teachers who appears for this MTET exams, they cannot apply in Shillong or elsewhere in this East Khasi Hills. And I think the government should consider, because in Sora civil subdivision, when you look at the amount of schools available and the amount of teachers who applied for MTET and the ones who have cleared, they cannot apply elsewhere in the other districts. And I think the government should take into consideration to consider this as a matter as well. And lastly, sir, no, not lastly, second last, I should say, measuring happiness. See, when you say measuring happiness, I think the people of the state, it's a vast topic. Happiness depends on the amount of help we receive, given the constituencies as well as state. And one more issue, if the government can consider increasing the SRWP schemes, because this is one of the schemes which is directly beneficial to the people in each and every constituency. That's one. And one more thing, so with regards to the youth policy, government has taken a good initiative to help promote our youths in different fields. And in regards to jobs sector, government jobs, especially MPSC, should speed up the process, because this is a case which is pending for quite some time. A student will apply for a particular job and he'll get the advertisement, he'll get the call letter maybe after 3 or 4 years. This greatly affects especially our youth who are planning or who are trying to secure any government service in the state. I think the government should speed up the process, especially our service commission, in order to help ease out our youths in a state. And
Please wind up.
so one more,
Member.
just one last point. So this health and family welfare, around 1,800 crores is earmarked for this particular year. And I remember I've discussed this with our Honorable Chief Minister that there are certain areas in my constituency which requires improving the health system, to improve and increase the PHC sub-centers, especially in Nongjiri and in Majai. And one more thing, sir, health sector is another issue. I think one member has spoken today. Because whenever patients when they visit the civil hospitals, there are certain cases where they are referred to private hospitals. And I think what is the reason? Maybe our government, maybe our hospitals are not well equipped. I think this year, with this amount, I think the government can consider improvising and increasing the required machinery in each hospitals, especially the government hospitals in our state. And so that's all for today. And one last issue. I think our Honorable CM didn't give a reply in the governor's address. Many MLAs have asked for blocks and divisions. And in the governor's address, I've asked this again, that our Honorable CM had made a commitment to upgrade Sora civil subdivision into a district. So I think, at least this time, so he'll give an answer in the reply. And this is the last submission, sir. I resume my seat. Thank you.
Thank you.